John!
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 worst things the Simpsons have done to Grampa Simpson.
I'm cold and there are wolves after me. Please go back. You can make it my birthday present.
Over the lips and past the gums. Look out, dentures, here I come. Ew!
For this list, we're looking at times the Simpson family has been rude, dismissive, or downright cruel to Grandpa. We're only looking at canonical episodes, so anything outside of a Treehouse of Horror or anthology episode is fair game. Did we miss something awful? Let us know in the comments if you can think of another moment where Abe Simpson deserved more from his family. If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out the full song at the link below.
And now I'm coming around the bend. And baby, you're the one that I wanna say that's not there. Tell you right now, you're the one I've been searching for.
Number 10. Leaving him in the car. What do you do with your relative after he has a meltdown at church? Just leave him in the car when you go out to breakfast, according to The Simpsons.
People of Springfield, heed this warning. Twisted tail, 1,000 eyes.
Grandpa has an apocalyptic vision about the future of Springfield that leaves his fellow churchgoers reeling. The family is so used to Grandpa's antics that instead of listening to him or getting him help, they simply roll him up in a carpet and leave him in the car at their post-church breakfast. Grandpa's outburst was clearly a cry for help. Maybe he would have calmed down if they'd cared enough to feed him.
Wait a minute. I'm still in the car. Oh, right.
Number 9. Leaving him alone in the woods. While running home from a late night at Moe's Tavern, Homer encounters his very lost, very confused father alone in the woods.
Oh, son, I'm glad to see you. I went for the morning paper and I got lost. And no time for you, old man.
Instead of taking Grandpa back to the retirement home where he lives, Homer ignores his desperate pleas and just pushes him out of the way, leaving him for dead.
For the love of God, help me! I've been here for 4 days and a turtle's got a hold of my teeth! There he is!
It'd be one thing if Homer had plans to go back for Grandpa, but that doesn't seem likely here. Poor Abe has to stay lost, until hopefully someone with empathy discovers him. Someone who's clearly not his son.
Oh, he bit me with my own teeth!
Number 8. Leaving him frozen alive. In a peek into the future, Homer and his 2 grandsons visit Grandpa, who had himself cryogenically frozen until they found a cure for his illness.
He froze himself because he was sick and there was no cure.
Are they working on one?
Oh, they found it, but don't tell him. This is way cheaper than a nursing home.
Turns out they found a cure years ago. Homer's just keeping him there because freezing him is way cheaper than putting him back in a retirement home. Homer's laziness and stinginess prevents Grandpa from living out the final days of his life.
See you next Christmas!
Makes you wonder how Grandpa Homer would feel if his grandsons did that to him. Apparently, you can put a price on your parents' lives.
Lawn chair breaking, hair losing, Marge loving, barometer dropping, father freezing.
Number 7. Accusing him of lying about the flying hellfish.
Stop your snickering! I spent 3 years on that turlet.
There's nothing more embarrassing to Bart than Grandpa's ranting and raving in front of his class on Grandparents' Day.
Monty Burns is trying to kill me, and it's all because of, I can't tell you what.
Well, I'm sure you'll make up something. Maybe you just need more of my classmates around.
He's so embarrassed that he refuses to believe Grandpa when he tells him about the curse of the flying hellfish, an old pact he made with his platoon in World War II.
Well, if you say Burns' life, why does he want to kill you?
Grandpa's stories may have seemed far-fetched, but Bart still should have listened to his grandfather and tried to bond with him before Mr. Burns crashed through his bedroom window.
My own grandson thinks I'm a liar.
Our grandparents are only around for so long to tell us their stories.
Maybe it's time we put Grandpa in a home.
You already put him in a home. Maybe it's time we put him in one where he can't get out. No!
Number 6. Strangling him. It's true that Homer Simpson's biggest vice, other than beer, is strangling his son.
The other day, Bart, the little Dickens, said I had an elephant butt. So anyway, I'm strangling him.
But that had to come from somewhere, right? Turns out, young Homer was strangling his father years before he had Bart as a target.
Look at these grades. They're a disgrace. No TV for a week. Why, you little...
We've all dealt with people, even our parents, underestimating us. But to retaliate to the point of strangling your own father? That's pretty unforgivable.
To emphasize the seriousness of this situation, I'm going to turn my chair around backwards.
Young Homer should have taken a breath, collected himself, and left the table before he resorted to such senseless violence against the man who raised and fed him. Number 5. Forgetting about him when they move to Terror Lake.
Here you go.
Ooh, what a cute convertible.
When the Simpsons are forced into the witness protection program to protect Bart from escaped killer Sideshow Bob, the family skips town so fast they completely forget about Grandpa.
Hello? Hello? You have my pills!
He ends up outside being chased by wolves.
I'm cold and there are wolves after me.
It's understandable that the Simpsons would want to leave as quickly as possible given the circumstances, but Grandpa didn't come up once in their conversations with witness protection. It's definitely possible to forget about clothing or even furniture while moving, but a whole family member? They could have at least told him they were leaving.
Look what happened without my pills!
Bart, run upstairs, get Grandpa's medicine.
Number 4. Putting him in a bad retirement home. The Springfield Retirement Castle doesn't seem like a suitable place for anyone to live, much less Grandpa Simpson.
All right, here's your medication.
Wait a minute, this ain't no pill, it's a cord nut.
Over and over, we learn all kinds of ways the employees cut corners and genuinely endanger their aging, helpless residents.
Mine flew away.
The Simpsons aren't rich, so it makes sense that they can't afford to put Grandpa up in the fanciest places. But the Springfield Retirement Castle even refused to buy pills for their residents after prescription drug prices went up.
Let me explain from behind this cage. Now, your pills have become very expensive, and no one gives a rat's ass about you. So, after a lot of thought, we decided to let you go cold turkey.
That's just unsafe. No one sane would let their beloved relative live under those circumstances.
I'm gonna fight this thing.
Ugh, he's crazy, but what are you gonna do? He's young.
Number 3. Fantasizing about killing him. When Homer and Grandpa get into a terrible car accident, Homer suffocates Grandpa rather than calling the ambulance.
Eventually I'll die in your home, which will hurt the resale value, but it'll all be worth...
Grandpa lays out all of the care he's going to require in the aftermath of the accident, and Homer decides a dead father is easier to handle than an annoying injured one. Turns out this was all just a dreamlike fantasy, and an elaborate nod to The Sopranos. But who knew that Homer's happy thoughts included visions of patricide?
Oh, I was having the most wonderful dream.
The act was so cruel that critic Robert Canning described Homer's fantasy as the, quote, least funny thing he'd ever seen on the show. Number 2, not letting him use the bathroom.
Can I go to the bathroom before we leave? Oh, we gotta get home. I don't want to miss inside the actor's studio.
The Simpsons completely ignored Grandpa when he begged them to make a pit stop on the way home from a family outing.
There's a rest area. Pull over. Can't stop now. We're making great time.
Everyone thought he was just being a nuisance and that he'd actually be okay waiting to go until they got home.
Please go back. You can make it my birthday present.
The consequences were a lot more serious, though.
Oh, dear God. This man's kidneys have exploded. There's nothing left.
Grandpa's kidneys actually exploded before he could get to the bathroom. If the Simpsons had listened to Grandpa, they could have avoided a major health crisis that ended with Homer being forced to give his father a kidney. All this because Grandpa accidentally drank too much sarsaparilla.
Can't get a good sarsaparilla like this back in Springfield. It angries up the blood.
Number 1, keeping him away from his girlfriend's birthday party.
A yellow one for my arrhythmia, and 2 of the bluest eyes I've ever seen in my life.
When Grandpa meets Beatrice Simmons, he instantly falls in love with her. It's the definition of sweet.
Hey, there's room for all your friends in the car. No, she's not invisible, you idiot! See, it's her birthday tonight.
However, the Simpsons think Abe is lying when he says he has a girlfriend, and they drag him away from the retirement home, causing him to miss Bee's birthday party. By the time Grandpa gets home, Bee has passed away.
I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this, but Bee passed away last night.
Oh, no.
Any way you shake it, the Simpson family deprived Grandpa of spending one last day with the love of his life. Even if Bee had lived, it would still have been cruel to keep them apart.
You made me miss the last precious moment of Bee's life. I'll never speak to you again!
Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you're a fan of the song playing right now, be sure to check out the music video for it right here.
a saint.